All right, good evening. This is Pat from Pat's Card Corner, and I'm a few minutes late because just trying to get my technology working. So, I have something just a little bit different tonight than what I usually do. This is not a treat box. This is not any other kind of 3D project. I'm actually going to show you just a little bit different way to make some cards that's quick and easy. And it's great if you're making a set of cards, like maybe you want a set of thank you cards to give somebody, or a set of hello, or maybe you're making a whole bunch to send out to people and you kind of want them maybe similar or close to being the same. So just a little bit of a different thing. So I'm just trying to get myself going here. So if you're watching, oh hey Laura, hey Sharon, glad you joined me. And I think we're all set. So, I posted earlier on, my brain is thinking faster than my mouth can talk. What you needed, my brain. And I am making, tonight I'm using this stamp set called Hand Pen Petals. This is in the annual catalog. So this project tonight isn't anything that's in the new catalog, although you could use stuff from there. But you know, sometimes when you get the new catalog, you forget what's in the old one and you don't use it, but there's a lot of great stuff in there. And this is one of my favorite ones. And you know, I love the paper. It's very pretty, very spring-like. And even though it's, you know, it's kind of cold here, and I know Sharon has a ton of snow at her house. So, oh, thanks for sharing, Laura. So anyway, let me just tell you what we're going to do. So I am using this hand pen. I'm going to stamp a couple of the flowers and use some of the sentiments. And although I might use some of the sentiments from this is a celebration set called Special Moments, and there's birthday, there's sympathy, you know, things that you can use for any occasion on there. So you will need some paper. I chose to use the hand pen paper, and I'm going to show it to you real quick just because I just love this paper. It is so, it's got real pretty floral prints on one side, very soft colors, and then on the other side there's all these matching designs, some stripes, some polka dots, some leaves. This is like a little flower, so is this, and this is like a little squiggly kind of wave line. Anyway, great paper to use, and you can see like front and back coordinate. I just love it. So if you haven't gotten this one yet, you should might think about getting this paper sometime between now and May, because it'll be gone by then. So what you're going to need, we're going to make 4 cards, so you're going to need 4 card bases. They can all be the same, they can be different. I just pulled some cardstock out, and so I have some white, and I have 2 that are Highland Heather, because there's some of that in my paper, but you could use any color you want. I might end up doing them all white, who knows. So, but you need 4 card bases. You can, they can be cut either, you know, the traditional open way, which is 5.5 by 8.5, which I don't have any here right next to me. Oh yeah, I do. I have one piece. I haven't scored it yet, but I have a piece. Hello. Which is this size, so, you know, makes a regular card that opens this way. Or you can, I do a lot of my cards that are 4.25 by 11, and then I score them at 5.5, just because, you know, they're fun to stand up and they photograph better for, you know, for what I'm doing. So you need 4 of those. You will also need 4 pieces of basic white cardstock. These are all the same size, and they are 4 by 5.25. So you need 4 of those. And then you need 4 pieces of whatever designer series paper you picked. And these are the 4 that I picked. I think these are actually front and back. Yes, they are, but these are not. I picked these because these were the other colors that were in this flower pattern. So you're going to need 4 papers. And these are also cut 4 by 5.25. So like this one obviously has a direction to it because it has flowers that are right side up. So you want to make sure that it's going this direction. The long ways, the top is 4 and then 5 1/4 going down. So, all right, who said 73 degrees? Oh, you're in Florida. I forgot. Yeah, Sharon sent me pictures earlier of her house and all the snow in her front yard. I'm not sure how much she got, but I think it's a lot. Looked like a lot. Anyway, so you need 4 of these. And if you want to, you might want a little binder clip because of how we're going to cut them, or a paper clip or something. Just, it kind of keeps them all together, because when we cut these, we're going to cut them all at the same time. All at once. So you're going to just, it doesn't matter how they're piled up. We're just going to cut them all at the same time. I put a little binder clip on it because it kind of helps hold them all together, and so they don't kind of wiggle around, so everything keeps straight. So I'm just going to move these off to the side and move these off to the side, and we're going to do a little cutting. So you can cut through 4 pieces of paper with our trimmer. It is possible because I've done it. If you have a guillotine cutter, then you can use that to do it too. So, and there is no actual right or wrong way to cut this. So I'll just tell you kind of how I did it. I just kind of estimated here and there, and just, so you can cut it however you want. But if you kind of follow, I didn't really measure how I'm cutting. You could, if you wanted to be very precise, you could measure, okay, I want to go down 1 inch here and cut over here, but you don't have to do that. So I know this is going to be a little crazy, so hold on to your horses or hats. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece off the bottom, like a triangle sized piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up. This is my cutting blade. I'm going to cut with that. And I want to cut down to the corner. So I'm actually going to stick the corner right in the track here. And then I want maybe about halfway down. So this is 5 1/4. So somewhere maybe a little less than halfway. So I'm just going to put it in the track. I've just kind of angled it over. Like I said, there's really no precise way to do it, but you do want to make sure that your paper is even all the way around, which is kind of why I clipped it. And then you're just going to cut through. Now it might take a couple passes to cut all the way through, so you might want to go back and forth until you've made sure that, or it sounds like everything is cut. And there you have one piece. I'm going to set that over here just like that, because I want to remember how I put it together. So that's very important. Okay, so the next thing, I'm going to kind of turn it this way. Put that underneath there. And I'm going to cut from maybe about 1.5 inches to maybe about 1 inch in from this side. So we're just going to kind of guess here. So this is about 1 inch maybe. This is my inch mark right here, which is this one. So this little corner here is on the inch mark. So this would be 1 inch. And then, but I don't want to cut quite up that high. So I'm going to cut maybe, because I'm cutting a triangle piece off. So maybe about there. So this is probably maybe 1.25 inches. You can kind of tell my other, I'm not sure if you can see it, but my other little corner is about on the 1.25 inches over here. So actually we will line it up. So this is on 1.25 inches. This other one down here is on the inch. And then I'm just going to close this up, hold it down, and I'm going to cut. And I'm going to go back and forth several times so you can kind of feel when it's gone all the way through. And then I'm just going to take that off, put that over here. So I'm putting my pieces back. And then we're going to make one more cut. We're going to cut this one, but I'm going to cut from here to here. So I'm going to move my little binder clip and put it over here out of the way. So I'm going to cut maybe about 1 inch from here. Maybe put these in here so it won't be in the way. So I'm going to stick this little corner on the inch, and then I'm going to kind of angle it a little bit. So kind of about like that. There's really, so if you really want to be precise, this is on 1 inch. this little corner over here is on 2.5. So I'm just going to close that up and I'm going to cut. And you can, until you don't feel it going through anymore. Whoop, that one didn't quite go through. Let me line it back up here. Didn't feel like it went all the way through. Nope, still didn't. Nope. I gotta put that back on there. I can see where it went though. I think my binder clip is in the way. So I'm actually gonna move it over here. Maybe that'll be better out of the way. I am gonna put this right back on because I can see where it is, see where it's supposed to go. So don't be afraid to, you know, if you need to cut again. There we go. And that did it. All right, so I am going to put this back on here though. And then this is going to go here. And this little piece, I got to remember which way it went now. Goes that way. Kind of goes like that. So I have my pieces all put back together. Okay, so now what you're going to need are your 4 pieces of your basic white cardstock that are 4 by 5 1/4. So we're just going to lay them out just like this. Oop, I got 5 there. How about that? All right, so we got 4. And then we're going to take these pieces and we're going to deal them out. So you're just going to start on one and you're just going to put 1 on each piece. And then you're going to take another piece and you're going to put them out too, but you don't want the same ones on the same piece. So I'm just going to kind of randomly put them anywhere I want. I guess you could keep going in a circle, but I want to be different. So I can't put that one there, so it's got to go up here, and then this one's going to go down here. And you can move them around afterwards when you're done. So now I have this pile, so this one's got to go somewhere down here. Maybe that one there. Nope, this one there. Nope, can't do that because then I'd have 2 of these, so I'm going to move these around here. There we go. You just have to make sure, and now you only have one choice of where to put your last ones because they're the only ones left that doesn't have that same pattern on it. So we're going to put those on here. And there we have the 4 pieces. Now that you have these all put together, yeah, Jackie probably is saying what? She, you know, we have a friend, Sharon and I have a mutual friend, Jackie, and she's very precise in her measuring and what she does. So this probably would drive her a little nuts. So, okay, so we have 4 of these, and now you get to start gluing. So I'm just going to move these over here. And you kind of want to keep them together so that I remember what I did. So what you're going to do is you're going to glue each of these pieces to your background. So I'm just going to flip it over, put some glue on it, and start gluing. So I'm going to be gluing here for just a little bit. I am putting some in the middle. We are going to do a little bit of cutting and stuff after. So now that I have this on here, I am going to move these pieces off because when you're gluing this on, you want to kind of make sure that you've lined up the sides. Whatever first piece you're doing, I just happen to start with this piece. You can start with any of them. And you're just going to glue it down. And then you're going to do the next piece. So that one's going to go there. I'm going to flip it over. And when you're gluing them together, you do want to make sure that the pieces butt up against each other. If it's not exactly even on the side, that's okay, but you do want where they go together to be straight, and you also want it to be straight here so that the next piece will fit in too. So we're just going to kind of glue them down. So we're going to be doing all 4 of these. So, you know, this is kind of a fun thing to do. If you like puzzles, this is kind of fun to do because, you know, you're putting pieces back together. And like I said, you can do this with any paper. So then we're going to just butt this one up right against there. And I'm going to lift it up here. So I can kind of feel where, you don't want to overlap them. You just want to butt them right up next to each other. If you overlap them, then it'll get kind of bumpy, and you want everything to kind of be smooth. Whoops, something didn't go right there. Hello. Because this piece will not go there. All right. Must have cut something wacko. Something must have moved on me. It's okay. We can fix that. To see if my other ones come out that way. I wonder if I turned it, my triangle. I'll have to look at my other ones. Well, this one is going to go over the top, so it might be a little bumpy, but that's okay. Because, like I said, I am going to do some trimming, so if it's not exactly quite right, and now you get to see, you know, what happens in real life. So I am just going to turn this a little bit so that I can make it work. And it's okay because I am going to do a little trimming anyway. So this will be one of the ones that I trim down. So I'm going to flip this over. Don't you just love it when you see real life boo-boos and how we cover them up? Because I might make a boo-boo on this now, but no one else will ever know later when it's done, only me. So I am just going to kind of get that lined up there. And then this is one of the ones that we're going to cut down, so it'll work. And then we're going to cover that up too. So fun stuff happening in my craft room today. Oh, hey, Allison, you made it. They are kind of like crazy quilt cards, I guess you could call them that. I'm going to make sure this one all matches up before I start gluing this one. I wonder if I cut them all the same. Nope, now this one matches. Isn't that weird? I think I must have turned, I think I turned the triangle on that one. So be careful when you're turning your pieces not to do that. Because it's almost like a right triangle, a isosceles triangle. You know, 3 sides are even. It's almost like that. So I'm going to be a little more careful with this one. All right, who's the math person that remembers what those triangles are called? I was very good at math in school. I'm pretty sure it's an isosceles triangle. So do a little more gluing. So I don't know if anyone else is doing this at the same time as me. So hopefully you are, or you'll try it later. And you don't have to have this paper to make this card either. You can make this with any paper you want. Make sure I get this triangle going the correct way. I'm going to flip it that way. And I'm going to flip it back so I get it going the right way. All right. It's just going to flip right. This, don't turn on me. There we go. All right, who else talks to themselves when they're crafting besides me? There we go. This one's going together right how I want it. Okay. And it's okay if it overlaps a little bit or it's not quite straight on the edge, because we are going to do a little bit of trimming or cutting or die cutting. And then this one's going to fit right there. So I'm just going to flip that one. So the other, what I use to do some of my die cutting on these pieces were 2 die sets that I use quite a lot. One of them is the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and I'll show you those in a minute. And the other one are the rectangle stitch dies. So they come in real handy for making stuff. I don't know if anyone else has those, but if you do, they're great for these cards. So there's another one, and then I got 2 more here to do. So I would say talk among yourselves while I'm gluing here. Yep. All right. Now I flipped it. Which way did it go? Oop. See? You gotta be careful how you're flipping these around, or you could be gluing it the wrong way, and then you won't have a rectangle to go back to. Kind of move those out of the way a little bit. There we go. So this is probably the longest part of making these, is getting all the gluing done. You could use your tape runner, your Stampin' Seal, but I like the glue so that you can kind of move them around a little bit so that you can make sure that you get them, you know, next to each other and kind of in the right spot. So that is why I like to do that. I'm gonna make sure I get this rectangle done the correct way, so I don't do it the wrong way. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of laid them out on top the way I did, so that I would remember how they get stuck together. And even then I kind of messed that up, but it'll all work out. And we're going to put that on there. And this is the last one. So this makes a real pretty set of cards because it has the same paper on each card, but they can still all be unique looking by how you finish them. And it could be something just really simple. You could be a little more elaborate and, you know, add other things to it. But there we go. But really the trick is to make sure that you have a sharp blade in your trimmer and that you hold all the pieces, you keep all the pieces together and they don't get a little off kilter, because anything that gets a little off kilter obviously affects how it's going to be get put together later. So you do want to make sure that you're, you know, cutting with something sharp. And you know, even when I was doing it, my blade didn't go all the way through the last time, so I don't know why I keep getting this corner one turned around. But it is possible to put your paper back on there and still cut, so just like I did. So is there anybody that's watching that actually is a quilter or done quilting before? Yeah. Oh yes, where is that credit card? I know, when you get paper. Well, fortunately this paper will be around till actually the end of April, because the new this is in the annual catalog, and the new annual catalog comes out on, I believe, May 3rd. So this will be available until May 2nd. So you have plenty of time to save up to buy it. And believe me, you'll use it all too, because it's just so pretty. It makes great Mother's Day cards. It makes great Easter cards, just because of the pretty colors in it. So yeah, you can use this paper for a lot of stuff. Oops, I forgot to put my other one on there. Well, this one's going in there first. Hope that triangle fits. Look at that. It's going to fit right there. I don't know. I think why I like it is because, I don't know why I like it. It's maybe because it's the pale colors that are in it. All right, now I got to make sure I get this going the right way. Is that the right way? Yep. I know, it's very feminine, I think. Very. So, and we're just going to press that part down. I went a little too far over. Move it back. All right. Get back over there. And if you happen to get glue on it, because you've got glue on your hands while you're trying to get it together, having one of the little gum erasers is great. I have one right here. I actually bought this one at the Dollar Tree, but I know you can buy them at... so you can get off all the little glue where you had it on your hand and then you stuck your hand on the paper. So just, I got a a little bit on there because I can feel it. It's tacky. Nope, got all those. Nope. Okay, so there we have our 4 things that are all done, and now we are ready to do that. So, all right, I know you're asking me to say again you missed that, but I'm not sure what you missed, so I guess you're going to have to ask me. All right, so now we are ready to put them on the cards. So earlier today I made the same set, and I did some die cutting on them. So we're going to do the magic of Facebook, and I'm going to show you the die that I cut it with and then what it looks like when I've gotten it all cut out. So these are, I also use these scallop contour dies on one of them, and I use this one. I'm going to take this out here. You can actually, my paper's still stuck in there, so I need to take that out. So I use this one, and when you cut it out through the magic, you just lay it on here. It'll fit exactly on there. So once you cut that out, magic of TV, it looks like that. TV, Facebook. Okay, and then I also did one that's a little bit smaller, just to, you can make them all the same if you want, but I also, this is another one of the dies from that, and I cut it, put it on here. You can move it around if you want, because it's obviously bigger. You can put it right in the center, and you can die cut that, and when you die cut this one, it's going to look like this. So it's a little bit smaller, but it'll work. But what you're left with too after you've done that is some pretty frames. So the other 2 I actually cut with one of the rectangle stitch dies. I didn't choose the biggest one. It's the next to the biggest one. Not sure exactly what size it is. I could measure it, but it'll fit right on there. So I did some cutting with both of these 2. Actually, I flipped it around this way. So once you do that, then you have these pieces that are cut. You can see the stitching around there. So, and then we're going to put them on some cards. And like I said, you can make them all the same, or you can fancy them up a little bit. So you can make them a little bit plain, which we're going to do with these. So we have this. You can make them by just putting this right on here, maybe with some dimensionals, and then put your sentiment on it, stamp, and just leave it just like that if you wanted. You don't even have to add anything else to it. You don't have to do any stamping. This is just paper and adhesive. I guess that's the right word for it. So I just need to get my dimensionals, because you know I like to use those. So we're going to do this one very simply, and you can add ribbon to these if you want. So this one kind of looks a little, I have a bunch of ribbon. Unfortunately, we don't have any Highland Heather ribbon at the moment. We do have this scrape, but that's a little dark. So I think that's too dark. So if you wanted to, you could just put a little white ribbon on there. You can also, if you want to, you can fancy it up a little bit by putting a mat behind it. So this is, maybe you like it better with the mat on it. You can take a vote. You can do yellow. You can do purple. This is where you get to play around with all your stuff and just kind of decide what you like and what you don't like. You can also cut it down so you have a smaller border around it. That looks a little more purple. I think we're going to go with the purple and maybe a little white ribbon. So we'll see. So yep, we're going to try that. So I'm just going to put this together. And you can do a lot of matting if you want. This mat is 4 by 5 1/4 because you know, it's this kind of the traditional size that you use. It is embossed with the Tasteful Texture embossing folder, just because it just kind of adds a little bit of interest to the background. So I'm going to try and get that straight on there. That would be good. I'm going to wrap a little piece of this ribbon around there. This ribbon needs to be another color. I'm not crazy about this ribbon, but hello, where's my old one. I can make the ribbon stick here. And I'm going to put the sentiments on all of them last, just because you can put anything you want on there. And I'm going to put that on dimensionals and throw it on the front. Add a little bow. Stamp a little something on there. This might be a thank you card. Get my little pieces off. All right, purple. Yeah, I like the purple too. I think the other one was too not dark enough, or I don't know. The purple just looks better. And can make a little bow. I might make a double bow. This is not my favorite ribbon. I know you can color it. It just needs something more to it. You know, I've never tried this, but we're gonna try it. See if you can make a bow with two pieces. So it looks a little more substantial. Yep, not bad. It'll work. I kind of take these out a little bit. Yep, I kind of like that. There we go. Since I am cutting these off, it won't matter if that was looped over there. There you go. I'm going to put that on there. I might wait just a minute before I get my sentiment on there. Put that on a glue dot. I can always peel this off, so we're going to put it way over here, so I have room to put a little sentiment over here. So, actually, we're just going to go ahead and stamp one. I'm going to stamp this. It says thanks. This thanks is always need a thank you card. As soon as I find the word. There we go. All right. Oops, I gotta turn it right side up, upside down. Hate when I can't see. And I cut a bunch of these little tags. These are also from the Stitch So Sweetly. I always have a bunch of these. Or actually, maybe it'll fit on here. Nope, too long. These are smaller ones from the Stitch Rectangles, and I think I'm going to do that because it'll match. So, a little bit of Highland Heather ink. Just going to stamp that real quick. Hopefully get it in the middle, and we'll do it on the correct side, not on the back. It's always good to do it on the front. It doesn't look very dark. And then, of course, you can put some embellishments on there, maybe some little sparkly things. That would be pretty too. So, and I'm just going to throw some dimensionals on the back of this one too, because I can. All right. So these cards go together pretty quick, as you'll notice. So this is just a kind of plain and simple one. We didn't do much else stamping, and there you go, one card. We're going to do a little bit more with this next one, so just be prepared. All right, so this one, what should we do? I need a background piece. A white card. And we might just put it on there. And we're going to do a little bit of stamping on, nope, that's too big, on this one. And see if that we can get that to fit. I'm going to try this little flower here. Actually, if we turn it the other way, I think it'll work. Hello. Nope. Need a bigger block. Just for my own sanity here. Maybe that one. This one's bigger. And that's going to fit right on there. So we're just going to stamp this. So what do you think? Does that need a mat behind it, or should we leave it just the way it is? This is going to be interactive. You get to pick what I'm doing. Things. So I am stamping. Oh, be careful. I think that's the back. I am stamping that in black. So I am going to stamp it on here. I'm going to stamp it up a little bit so I can put something on the bottom. There we go. And where'd my thanks go? It's my thanks, which I'm going to clean off. Hold on. Clean it off so I could use it again. Let me see. So you can do some more stamping on this, or you can just color them in real quick. And I'm in for the coloring them in real quick, just for fun. So this is just Jade, which is the green color that's in there. And I'm just gonna kind of get the leaves a little bit. There's no, I know I have a weird way of doing things sometimes. I do the skinny sides, I can actually get the stems. There we go. And then just kind of scribble in. Doesn't have to be perfect. I don't want to keep you here all night, you know, so we got some leaves. Well, I guess this should be green too. That is the part that holds the flower on there. That would make sense, wouldn't it? There we go. And maybe a little bit of Highland Heather. That's the light. Let me find the dark one. There we go. And just kind of do a little bit on the flowers. You can tell I'm not being precise with this, just so you know. And the good thing about this is you can just kind of color it in real quick. I think my marker's getting kind of low. It's kind of starting to squeak. Usually when they start to squeak, it means the ink is getting kind of low on it. There we go. And I'm going to make this one pink. We're going to put some yellow in the middle. This is Daffodil Delight. And the other color of pink that's in this card is Blushing Bride, but there is no Blushing Bride Stampin' Blend. So Petal Pink is going to have to work. So we're just going to kind of color that in real quick. You can color these however you want. You don't have to. This one's squeaky too. I don't know if you can hear that. I just used the dark one on this just because I started coloring and that's what I had in my hand. So, and then we're just going to put thanks on the bottom. So this is going to be another thank you card. There we go. Cover that up. And we're just going to put this right on top of there with some dimensionals as soon as I find some. Oops. There we go. I used up my other ones and I'm too lazy to cut them apart at the moment. Just take that off at the same time I'm putting it on. There we go. This one is just going to go right in the middle. So this is going to kind of cover that up just a little bit. And we're going to put it on here. And maybe a pink one. Should we do pink or leave it white? All right, here's the vote. Pink or white? The stamped image bleeds. It could be the ink you're using. Pink. So, all right, we're going to go for pink. So, and it depends on what kind of markers you're using. So, the ink, if you're using Stampin' Blend markers, those are alcohol based, so your ink needs to be water based. It needs to be the opposite. If you're using markers that you're coloring with are water based, then your ink needs to be alcohol based, so you would use something like Stays On, which is black. So I don't have a green mat. That would look pretty though. So we're going to do pink today for this one, and we're just going to put that on there. If you wanted to, you could add a little ribbon bow, but you don't have to. I think it'll go kind of just the way it is. You could also add a smaller mat around this one. Actually, that would probably look pretty. We'll do that on the next one. So we're just going to put that on there. And there you have another card. So you can, so this is not covered up. This is kind of covered up, so you can do either way. So there's two. And then this is the one that has the pretty background border on it. And somewhere I have a purple. Nope, where's my purple card? Hello. Oop, I've lost it. Here it is. You should see my desk. It's a mess. It's a wreck. So this one I think actually looks very pretty just on this one. Just all by itself. So I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back of this one. And what do you think? Does it maybe some ribbon? The thing with dimensionals is you can still put ribbon around it after you have the dimensionals on there. And let's see. Maybe make this one a happy birthday. So, or a sympathy card. This would be a pretty sympathy card, maybe. It would need ribbon for a sympathy card. I'm talking to myself. Oh, you don't know the trick about the ink and the markers. Yeah, it's very important because otherwise your markers could be bleeding. So you definitely don't want that. So we're actually going to make this a birthday card. So this says happy birthday on it. This stamp is from the Special Moments stamp set. I'm just going to kind of get it lined up here. Oop. So at least I have a chance of getting it straight. And I think we're going to do that in Highland Heather also. As soon as I find my ink that I put away. Oh, there it is. All right, now I've lost my... All right, where'd my piece of paper go that I was going to stamp on? Hello. Well, guess we're going to stamp on this one because it'll fit. All right. There we go. Happy birthday. I think this needs something else on it. Maybe we'll throw it in the middle. I think it looks better in the middle. But I think it needs ribbon. Just me talking out loud, it needs some ribbon. I get them all off. How many of you besides me stick your hand on every single one of these to make sure you took the backing off? I know it sounds kind of crazy, but there we go. Have a little bit of, I can see the glue on there. And I was gluing it together. That's gone. We're going to put it there. It needs embellishments. That's what it needs on it. Maybe some little sparkly gems, I think. And I was going to try and see if I had a piece of ribbon that I could make a bow with, that it would look pretty. We're just going to put that right there. I'm going to put it right in the middle. What do I do with my white ribbon? I'm just going to make another bow like my other one. I like this now doubled. It actually makes a prettier bow. And we're just going to throw a bow on here. If you've been crafting with me for a long time, you know I like ribbon and you know I like bows. So, see if I can get this to make a bow here. This is slippery little ribbon here. Here we go. But I kind of like it with two. I'm going to cut these off. Cut those off. My hand is upside down. There we go. That on there. Yes, it needs something. Get my glue dots, which I've almost stuck this in my ink here. Try to be a little more careful. Actually, we're going to put it up here. It'll still work. And then I'm going to get some little embellishments to put on there because I think it will look very pretty. So that's the third card. And then we have, so here's our 3 cards we've done so far. So they all look a little different. And then we have one more somewhere. Hello, I gotta find it. Because I've thrown stuff all over my desk and I think I moved it. I can't, oh, there it is. That's the other one that we cut, which is a smaller one. And if you cut, when we cut this piece, with the stitch rectangle, you're left with these. So you can use these on a card if you want. Just as a border, you could put it and put something in the middle. So just another thought of something so don't throw these away, because if you've done it pretty evenly, you can use these for something else. So we have one more card, and since I had 2 purple card bases, we've got another purple one. But I think this needs a piece of white behind it. So we're going to put a piece of white behind this one so that it'll kind of stick out just a little bit more. And I kind of like that, almost kind of just like the way it is. So we're gonna put this one down. So I did have a whole bunch of these. I still have more in other colors too. I have a yellow one too, but I'm not sure in case you want to see what the yellow one would look like. This looks very Easter to me, you know, yellow and purple. So like that, but I think I really like the white better. And actually this is upside down because my flowers are upside down. So it's going to go the other way. So I am using the white just because I like that one better. I think more contrast. I know gems on cards need more. I'm going to get some out before I'm done and do some. So you can do some more stamping on here if you want. You can do a little bit of stamping with some flowers on here. You could just put a sentiment on here. But actually, I'm kind of liking it the way it is. With maybe, oh, I probably shouldn't have put all that all the way down. But it'll work. That's right. Put stuff on the, I set it on my ink thing on the back, but fortunately it doesn't show through on the front. Gotta take these off. That right in the middle. Kind of hate to cover these up because then you kind of cover up the pretty design that's on them. I have glue on this one too. I'm telling you, these little eraser things are great because they will take all of your little glue spots off. Because I could see it, it looked kind of gray. It's gone, yay! And whoop, maybe just stamp a little sentiment on this one. We'll put it down here. And what should we stamp on there? I'm trying to, I don't want to do thank you. Let's see what else I got. Oh, we could do a bigger stamp, a bigger, let me see. Nope, that's smaller. Well, maybe a with sympathy. That kind of looks like. These are clear stamps and I can't read, it's hard to read which ones are which. And it has two, so you have to, if I had them together where they're supposed to be, oh, this one's supposed to be, but they're backwards, so I'm looking at it backwards. So with sympathy is right there. So this one says wonderful. Look, with sympathy right there. It's like this is like a puzzle all on its own playing with these stamps. So I don't like that they're upside down because then I can't read them. Drives me crazy. All right. Need a block for this one. And Highland Heather ink, which I have lost again. Oh, there it is. And I'm trying to see if it'll fit on one of these. I think it'll fit on there. Yep. So you could also give these as a gift if you wanted. You could just put a different sentiment on each one, so they would have a sympathy card, a birthday card, a thank you card, and maybe a get well card. So maybe put that right there. We're just going to glue this guy down. He does hang over the edge a little bit, so I'm not putting glue all the way to the edge. But we are going to hang it over the edge. And, hello, where'd my ribbon go? There it is. I am going to color a piece of this, just so I can, you can color this with the Stampin' Blends with the fat end. is running out of ink. Let me try my other one. Let's try the darker one. This one might have more ink in it. Yep, it does. It looks a little pinkish, but once it dries, it actually dries a little bit darker. So this is Highland Heather. So I'm just going to throw a little bow on there, but yeah, it looks very pink, doesn't it? Just going to go over it on this side. Just going to purple it up a little bit. This dries pretty quick. You can do this with the alcohol markers, not the water-based ones, because it won't dry fast enough, and then you'll have ink everywhere. I think that'll work. And I lost the top to my thing. I think I threw it. I'm going to take a picture of my desk when I'm done so you can see how messy it is when I finish filming. Because everything just kind of gets, oh, let me get that out of the way, and whoops, there it goes. I'm not sure I'm going to like this because it doesn't really look like the right color of purple, but we'll see. If not, we're going to throw a white one on here, but we are going to get some, couple little sparkly things to put on here. Put my scissors, get a glue dot. Oops, need to get that off. I lost my bow, it's trying to escape. Bow on it. Throw some sparkly things on there, and we're done. So while I get my sparkly things out, move this stuff out of the way. These are the 4 cards. So if you want to do some stamping, you can. If you just want to leave them plain, you can. You can mat them with different colors. But it's just kind of a fun thing to do. If you cover it up more, you just don't see as much of the pattern as you do in these 3. So that one's the one that's a little bit different. It's kind of like playing the game. One of these things is not like the other. Well, one of those cards is not like the others. So let's see what I got here. Okay, these are iridescent rhinestones, and they are in the new catalog. And they're just sparkly, but because they're iridescent, they kind of pick up the colors of the card that you have. So you can put them on anything. So we're just going to take a few of these off and throw them on our cards. They have big ones and little ones. So we'll just, I don't think I like the big one. That's too big. Nope, you're going back. I think I like the little ones better. And we're just going to kind of throw a few on here. Put some on here. Throw a few over here. A few up here. So what do you think? Are you going to try this? I hope you'll try this. This would be really cute with, you could do this with Valentine paper too, the Sweet Talk paper. It'd look really, if you wanted to make some fun Valentines, but I'll put one in the middle of this flower there. We're just kind of randomly scattering these on here. So there you go. All done. So I hope you will give this a try. And, you know, I'm not even sure I like that one. That might come off, and I might do it more like the other ones. So there you go. 4 cards, each of them a little different. You could make them all the same if you want. You can make them all different, however you want to do it. So I hope you like these, and I hope you'll try it. Oh, yes, it would be cute for a new baby. So anyway, there's your cards. So I hope you have a great night. Give this a try. If you try it, let me know. post a picture in the comments or send me a picture. So I'd love to see what you make. And I hope you have a great time. And I will see you next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye.